Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
Yeah, we're back, baby.
Hey Ma, the meatloaf!
Ma, the meatloaf.
That'll come apparent in our topic.
Will it
this
just?
week. It will.
Ooh, don't
I missed the memo on the green shirts and the meatloaf. Thanks, Ross.
don't get too preemptive on the topic, mate. Don't want to be going off in the holster. Let's have some general chit
Jesus.
chat before we get into our topic this week.
All right, let's do it.
Sick. Well, anyway, it's Send It Mate podcast, and I'm Caleb,
I'm Josh.
Oh, I'm Couchy.
the non-green wearing person tonight. What's going on, man?
Yes. Not a lot, man.
Different
Just
state,
fucking
different dress
busy
code.
working. Exactly. Different time. I didn't notice that our time zones changed.
Yeah, that was.
Well,
that was
yours did. Mine
you
didn't.
stuffed that up majorly. So what's with Queensland, eh? Like, I forgot as well that you don't have daylight savings. So we've gone from being half an hour behind
same.
you to now we're half an hour ahead. So
Yeah, we've been sitting here for
It's
about
a
an hour
logistic
waiting
fucker.
for you.
we
We
are.
actually
well.
we thought you bailed. We were like, well, he's preoccupied with, I don't know, feathers or something.
feathers.
Yeah.
With the central touch, Josh.
The sensual touch of a feather.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a bit worried about that blue door. What sort of residence are you in?
Fucking, that's a doorway to heaven, man.
Your bedroom?
That's just a blue door. The front door was the same. So there's that's outside. That's a outside porch, whatever you want to call it.
That's the back door.
Oh,
And the front,
That's the menage a trois entrance.
I assumed that
The
was the
what?
front door. Is there a meaning to
Anyway,
door colours? Like I know in some.
For blind people.
what I was getting at was both doors are blue. It's weird, but yeah,
Yeah, it is weird.
it's a nice house spot.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a cheap ass motel room from our view.
It's not a door. This is just my bedroom. So the house is 2-story.
Your bottom or top story?
I don't know what else you want.
So
I'm
hang
in the bottom, and the other bedroom's up top.
Of course, you're down the bottom.
What?
I don't know. I don't know why that's funny.
I love being on the bottom, man.
Anyway, how was your weekend up in Bris Vegas?
Did you actually have a long weekend like us?
Yeah, so I worked half a day Saturday. had the Saturday afternoon, then Sunday, Monday.
So
So,
no.
yeah. So the one thing that the states share, well, it did technically, but went to Surfers Paradise for the weekend, which was nice. So I didn't do a whole lot apart from I went to fucking hell, I forget the place's name now. It'll come to me later. There's a restaurant where they cook the shit up in front of you.
Like teppanyaki.
Japanese teppanyaki. That's the one.
Wow.
That's the first time I've seen one of them. That
Are
was
you
pretty
getting like Queensland slow as well? Like, what's going on? You're behind in time. It's taking a while to register stuff. What's going on, bro?
Anyway, so I did a bit of that. I didn't do any fishing, Josh. So as much as you'd be disappointed in that,
Oh, I am deeply.
but yeah, just chilled out really for the weekend, which was good.
Well, that's all right.
How was
In a
the
different
restaurant?
area. So yeah,
I've never been to a teppanyaki bar. How was that?
It's a restaurant.
that was actually pretty cool. You would have seen I've seen on socials as well, like just little gimmicks and stuff they play. We saw it a few times before we actually got to sit up on it's like a horseshoe table around the actual hot plates that the chefs cook at. And there's a sauce bottle there that they pretend to put sauce on the people's food, but it's got like a little rope in it. So when they squeeze the bottle, the rope flicks out and he pretends to squirt them. Otherwise, it's a good reaction. So that was pretty funny.
Uh-huh.
But
Dinner
I'd
and
go
a
back
show.
again. It was good food.
Well, that's the whole point of it, man. Like, it's a big deal.
So,
you would
yeah.
have seen teppanyaki restaurants in American movies for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But never been to one myself,
No,
man.
me either.
Like, to be honest, it's not really my go-to. It'd be more of a
It's worth it.
spectacle. But
I think the closest I've been to here in Adelaide is a place called Genghis Khan. I don't know. You boys been there?
yeah, that's mint.
Which
That's
you,
good.
you basically just walk around, load your bowl up with whatever. There's some
Shaved meats.
all, all the like sauces and whatever else. And I'm trying to think of the word. There's some
There is
instructions for
There-
what? Wow, God, mental blank.
Dishes.
No.
certain meals,
What is it? What is a list of instructions on how
recipes.
Recipes. Thank you.
Recipes.
There's some recipes that you can
It's a
follow
recipe. Fuck.
to make certain dishes. Like,
Call me
or
sorry.
you can just run your own race and put whatever in the bowl. You give it to the guy. He's got the big hot plate, bungs it on there, cooks it up for you, back in the bowl, back to the table. And it's like all you can eat, basically.
$38 for all you can eat, and there's little breadsticks.
It is a good place for sure.
It looks dodgy as hell, though.
Oh yeah, it's what you expect for $38 for all you can eat.
So good, though. So good. Because you can just put whatever meats and veg and you can customize literally everything.
Mm.
Much spice as you want. And then some poor dude has to stand there next to this crazy hot plate all night just cooking people's crap.
It's pretty cool. It's cool to watch, to be honest. It's a good
There's
concept.
I've been there a few times. I've been there a few times, and there's always like one guy. There's usually two cooks. One smashes them out, does them real quick, and then there's the other guy that just seems to do a meal like twice as long as the other guy. So
It's called working smarter,
each time I
not
go there, I
harder.
tend to accidentally choose the slow guy. No, I'm not dissing the quick guy. What are you talking about?
Less work.
But it's just funny. It's always the slow guy.
I don't think it makes a difference. You got to stand there sweating your ass off.
Having to
all
pay
night.
attention to the food more.
Yeah, but does he care if it's raw or not?
Well, he doesn't.
It's shaved meat, so the cooking time's not that long anyway. It's more just getting the vegetables to where you want it.
No,
He's basically just heating it up. Anyway, that's kind of making me hungry now.
boiling water will cook it.
All right, so you did stuff all. How was Surfers Paradise in general? I've never been there, I don't think.
Surfers Paradise is pretty good, actually. It's probably a bad weekend to actually go because it was end of school holidays. The grand finals for AFL and Union or League, whichever one it was on, and it was a long weekend. So it was fucking busy. But yeah, it was good.
Like, are we
Come
talking
surfers, man.
Hindley
For sure.
Street on a Friday night busy, or are we talking like neck level?
Oh, I've been to Hindley in a long time. But yeah, it's probably close to that, like especially in the shopping centre area.
Ugh. Hard pass. And
Yeah.
you would take that over fishing? Thought we'd
No, I
taught
just
you
did
better.
go fishing.
I thought we taught you better. Oh dear.
So what does one do on
Yeah,
surfers?
what did you guys go up to?
No, we're not finished with you. What does one do on surfers? What do you do? Like, you just went to surfers? Like, restaurants? What are we talking?
Well, I went out to dinner, restaurants, went to a bar on Saturday or Sunday night. So I had live music on. That was pretty cool.
Don't tell me it
So
was
just
country.
going drummer.
Don't tell me it was country.
No, he did covers. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Standard pub gig.
it was actually pretty good.
Did you at least go into
It
a
was just
local gun shop?
No, I didn't.
Did you swim?
But yeah, that drummer that was with the singer, he was sitting there. Kind of reminded me of you, just sort of like, I don't know. Well, I'm not sure if he reminded me of you, but he's just sweating his ass off just hitting the drums. I'm like, it's probably
You're
something
calling
Caleb
Caleb unfit?
Oh, look, I'm touched.
This is-
I'm touched you were thinking of me.
Yeah, Caleb's not fit. I think we all aren't fit.
We all far from our prime.
Nah, I'm getting into it, mate.
Yeah.
Nah, the new prime's like 50.
What?
So we're coming into it, mate. With everything these days, like peptides and stem cells and this and that, yeah, 50's the new 20.
I think a prime's what you make it, but it's definitely not me now.
I
Yeah,
think
well, you're
we're
definitely
all
not
past
making
our
it
prime.
fishing,
We're
are you?
past our prime.
Yeah.
I think the AFL's about right. Like, when people start retiring is when you're past your prime and you can no longer. Yeah, 100%, man.
It's
No.
early 30s.
Like, our age
early
is
30s.
ancient. There's only probably 2 or 3 players that are as old as us, or if not older, still going around in the AFL.
It's because when you get older, you get a little bit more wisdom and you just tackle things a little bit easier. So instead of just brute force, sort of like my dad, he skipped that part of the learning curve. He just keeps doing brute force at like 100 years old. But most people, they get a little bit wiser and get a bit smarter about how they work around things.
Yeah, well, it's the the old bull, young bull analogy.
But yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. But everyone should pack out a deer at least.
Yeah.
Every year, once a year, whole deer.
If you're lucky enough to shoot one.
What sort of deer, Josh? Like fallow? Or are we talking like samba?
Look, I did think about this actually before Caleb got the cart this year on reds, and we've shot reds before, but I'm like,
Before I got the cart for you to cart your red.
cart the red
Just
out.
for anyone who's like, before Caleb got the cart this year.
But before we'd sort of like, I'd text you to see if you could get the cart. I was like, yeah, I could try to do this. I don't know if I'm going to get very far, but I could try to do this. Throw it on my back and walk it out.
Bro, it was hard enough putting it in the cart with you. 2 of us.
That red? No way. I would have loved to have watched you try that. Because, yeah, I reckon the shoulders were higher than you, let alone the rest of the head.
That was the thing that I was sort of thinking about was, okay, when it's on the shoulders, the head's going to be flailing about and probably dragging on the ground.
Even if we strung that up and tried carrying it like between us, like front to back.
No, possible.
That would have been painful, man.
Yeah, possible though.
Possible, but
Well, we tried to hang that deer. We tried to hang that deer and
Say it again.
we were struggling with that.
But we were using like
Yeah,
the
delay's fucking
cheapest,
killing me.
cheapest rope.
it's terrible
It's got about
tonight.
a 5-second delay.
This whatever Airbnb internet you got going on is terrible tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we
It's
did.
actually no Wi-Fi, so I'm using my phone.
Oh, that's why. It's
Yeah, just stringing that deer up, just the 3 of us. It was shitty string, we were struggling and we barely got it off the ground. I was still touching, I believe.
See,
And you wanted to carry that out yourself.
I reckon if you did the old back legs, front legs through the back legs, like cut a hole and then wore it as a backpack, you'd be able to do it. I just don't think it would be that.
way. It would be as big as you as a backpack.
No, it would be hitting the ground still, Josh.
Correct.
That's what I just said
you're about 3
before.
foot tall.
I think
With
the
an ear
head
the
would
size
have
of
been
a
dragging
fucking-
on the ground.
Ryan.
Well, not I think. I know the head would have been dragging on the ground, but it's certainly possible.
The shoulders would have been dragging for you.
Yeah. It's Ryan's favourite method of packing out a deer. I did it with him the first time when he shot a fallow when him and I went away. And I still have video of him. And even at his 6'3" or 4" or whatever he is, with a tiny fallow, it looks ridiculous.
Look, I get that, but see, fallow, I just like throw them on top of the pack hole.
Yeah, fallow is small enough to do it.
And then, just walk like that so you're a giant T walking along. Obviously, that's not going to happen with a red.
Nah.
But the backpack, I think you'd be able to definitely do it. I mean, I don't know, next time we shoot a red, let's try it. I never said we'd get far. I never said that
Now you try.
it was going
I'm
to
not
be
trying it.
going to be fun, but we'll try it.
We could. I mean, what did we do when you and I
No.
had that?
Anyway, so
December?
what did you guys...
Oh, just talk over me, mate. Just shut up.
We'd cut it out and pack it
Oh,
out.
I'm not editing this either, so people can just
This is
deal
this is
with
going
it.
to be a struggle.
Just stop talking. That samba that you and I got in the high country, we packed out, but we broke it down into 2 backpacks.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we just took away all the cuts of meat though. We just left the
Bone.
bone, yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that bad. But if you want to get it all back and do bone in, do chops and all that sort of stuff, then you're going to be asking for trouble.
Yeah, it's look, where there's a will, there's a way. I've thought about this a lot, like making like a backpackable sled. So, you can like put it on the sled and then just drag it out. Like a dog sled sort of thing, but for a human. To get it out whole.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Work really well in the snow
Yeah.
in the high country.
Yeah.
Not so much
Would only yeah.
anywhere else.
The grasslands in the southeast, I still think it would work. Not as easy as snow, obviously, but I still think it would work.
Yeah, I get you. But then if you're going to go to the length of doing that, let's just upgrade to wheels.
And an engine.
Hell, let's chuck some wings on it and fly the thing out.
Anyway, so you had an eventful weekend in surfers. What did you get up to, Caleb?
Just spent some time with the girls and the Dale, basically. Just little day trip stuff. Beach, because it was nice weather. So, yeah. Beach, walks with the dogs, stuff around home, a few movies. Can't remember, to be honest. It's all a blur now. It's nothing particularly interesting, just relaxing, really. Yeah. I've completely blanked what I even got up to on the Monday. But yeah,
You're
no.
colouring around a fucking horse.
Say again.
You're colouring in a horse.
I was
It's one of the
colouring. Oh,
pictures
thank
we
you.
got.
Thank you. We missed the first half of that sentence.
Yeah.
I just heard horse. Yes, I was colouring in a horse with one of my daughters. Yes, that was hugely interesting. Wow. Just spending time with them.
Oh, dang.
Wait till you
Yeah.
two have kids. Like,
No, I'll still go to the range. I'll still go shooting. The kid can just sit there and suffer through it, mate. That's what my parents did to me. So
we've been here before.
we have. And it worked. I turned out fine.
Mm.
Yeah, fine. But yeah, that was me. Didn't do too much. Just
What
beach.
did you get up to, Josh?
Watched the grand final. That was another important thing.
Ugh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, we had some nice meals out. It was nice.
What meals? You going to elaborate?
went out for dinner, went out for lunch.
Oh, so nothing like teppanyaki or whatever.
No, nothing too fancy. Just, do you know what? Sometimes you just have a non-newsworthy weekend. You just do some boring stuff, but it's just relaxing. So, I can't jazz it up any more than that. It is what it is. It was just a long weekend. We were going to go away. I was shattered by the news that Couchy wasn't going to be down here. We can go on the fishing trip, but I was still going to go away anyway. And then we decided, nah.
Yeah.
Too much organising at the last minute.
Man, it would have been busy actually. Like where we were going, I reckon it would have been packed.
Yeah.
Every man and his dog was out this weekend.
It would have been a good trip, though.
Would. Stick a pin in it. Let's do it another time.
Let's do it.
Get out there over summer. Chase those fish. Anyway, what do you reckon of my new hat?
G4.
G4
Not
hat.
bad.
G4 hat.
Not bad.
Not a bad little trucker. I like the colour. Matches the shirt nicely. That's why I got it. Also, I got it because everyone has Ringers Western, Ariat, or Country trucker caps. So I thought I'd get something different.
It's not too bad.
Fits mad.
Nice.
Yeah. Wear it all the time.
Got a little plug there. Or...
Yeah. G4 Hat Co. Good looking hats.
I didn't even know they existed till today.
Neither did I till I was furiously Googling every trucker cap in the face of the planet.
It's because Couchy bought a trucker's cap.
He did. He got his Ariat one, and I was probably 3 seconds away from buying the exact one. So as soon as he bought it, I was like, nah. And then I went back to Ringers Western. I'm like, I'll get one of these, And then, nah. It's like everyone's got Ringers Western at the moment. I don't want to be mainstream.
Well, they're definitely smashing out the media.
Yeah, that one. Welcome. Welcome to the Carl game, even though we can't see you because you're blurry as hell right now on our screen anyway.
No, but it'll be fine.
It looks deformed.
But, so I missed the green memo. Josh misses a hat memo.
Oh, well. At least we're in the state, mate.
I'll get one day.
Trucker caps are pretty popular at the moment. And I wanted to get one for summer just because they got the mesh back on them. Let the old dome breathe a bit. So, yeah, check it out. Queensland company. You should be all over it, Couchy.
I'll have to check them out.
Do it. You'll buy a hat.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I reckon you were Googling G-Spot, not G-Force. And then it just come up in ads.
It wasn't G-Force. It was G4.
G4, sorry. It
wasn't G-Spot either. I don't even know what it means. But
yeah, I thought Gunforce may have come out with a new hat and they just didn't tell us. And you found it.
Pretty sure it would say Gunforce, not G4.
Like just an abstract version.
Okay, that's a long
bow
to draw.
But
it's not that long.
Josh, what did you get up to?
Me, man, I just went
to like show and tell at like grade 3 level at this point.
Yeah, well, our lives aren't really that exciting. Man.
You know what? These are the sort of conversations people have in real life, though.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah,
this is how we start all of our evenings off on it.
Yeah, we just thought we'd record it this time.
No, just went on a picnic with the missus and then went to the range, so nothing spectacular.
Jeez.
Did come up with a hypothetical question, though, tonight, for both of you. Because Caleb was just, before you rocked up, Couchy, Caleb was just scrolling through one of his pay-per-view things, and it come up with A Hunter's Prayer, the movie A Hunter's Prayer.
Amazon Prime.
That's the one. Yeah.
They make it sound like I was just scrolling through like OnlyFans or something. One of his paid subscriptions.
Well, there was a few questionable continuation of the movie.
Look, it wasn't me watching Secret Diary of a Call Girl, all right? It was my missus. Settle down.
Anyway, this dude's protecting a young girl because there's people out to kill her or whatever. And Caleb's like, nah, boring. And he sort of like deleted it from his little ad post or whatever. So my question to you is how is that not enticing? Because what could possibly be a reason for that girl to be murdered? So here's one for you. There's a child you can see into the future, this child's born, this child will become like a Hitler or Hitler. But it's a possibility. So it's not set in stone. It's definitely not the way he's going to go, but there's a high probability that that's the way it's going to happen. Do you take the kid out on a moral ground?
No.
I'm in agreement there, Couchy. Yeah, no.
It's not a guarantee.
Well, that was different to the scenario you posed to me before. You were like, this kid is going to be Hitler. Do you kill it to prevent that ever happening?
Well, that'll be a yes. If it's going to be
If it's a guarantee, then you probably would, because you're then saving thousands, if not millions of people, depending on what story you want to listen to.
The numbers, yeah. Is it true that Hitler's mum was asked by the doctor to get an abortion?
Oh, that's brutal.
But she chose not to. She chose not to do it. I think it was some sort of complication or something like that, and the doctor suggested to abort the child. And it turned out to be Hitler.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that. But maybe
I'll have a quick Google of that. 'Cause
maybe the doctor could
that
see
would be
into
cool.
the future.
Imagine that. You could have prevented how many millions of deaths. But having said that, what's to say that, okay, in this circumstance, Hitler didn't exist? What's to say that someone else didn't come and take his place?
Well, correct. And if it's not a guarantee, so the first scenario you presented, if it's likely that they're going to become Hitler, then surely wouldn't you just put some time into making sure that they don't?
See, that's exactly where I'll sort of stand with my thinking is, okay, instead of hurting the kid, mentor the kid so he makes a better choice.
Like, surely Hitler was a product of his upbringing. He didn't just decide one day that he'd go full.
Yeah, I think there was a few factors there. Maybe a few influences. And
Yeah.
possibly the First World War itself was a bit of a factor. I know he got kicked out of, well, I've read this. I don't know how true it is, so someone fact check me, but he got kicked out of art school. Or not kicked, he wasn't let into art school in Vienna by like a Jewish person. And I don't know if that started his hatred for the Jewish people. I don't know. I don't know how true that is, but
I don't know. Well, actually, that vaguely rings a bell. Again, that's probably a product of what's happened to him. So, like, the net result is just what's gone on in his life. He's been rejected from this. Like, you know, you see with, like, school shooters and stuff, you know, they're not popular. They've been rejected by all the girls.
Outcasts.
Social outcasts for whatever reason. And then they just go, oh, well, fuck it then. I'm going to kill everyone. So I don't think without all those external factors, someone just decides to be a horrible monster of a person.
Well, they say no one actually believes that they're horrible. It's just they truly believe that what their choices are is right.
so just sorry, Couchy, just Googled
Interesting to
myself.
think about.
Yeah, he was rejected twice from a Vienna Academy of Fine Arts. Yeah. There you go.
There you go. As
Thank
what?
goodness. Had to check
Cool.
that just to make sure.
Well, I Googled about the abortion and I couldn't find anything on it, so it might be just bullshit.
There you go. Open
So-
myth.
Take that with a grain of salt.
Well, you know, there's people out there that think he's still alive somewhere in Argentina or something too. So
You know,
Well,
I would actually like to
where
go.
did I read? I read something about no, Josh. I read that Hitler and 70,000 Nazis fled to South Africa at the end of the war.
South America.
South
So
America.
there's a possibility that they could be still
Pretty sure you mean South Africa. South America.
South Africa. Sorry,
South America.
You just
South
said it again.
not South Africa.
South America.
Africa.
No, America. South
No,
America.
I mean Africa.
No, surely you don't. A lot of them went to Argentina, like South America. South Africa and South America are very
You
different.
tell a story.
Oh, well, go on. Run your own race, champion.
I know. That's the story is it, but like, I just don't know why you're so confident on this.
Because I'm firmly in the South America camp, not the South Africa camp.
Look, there's a fella that did go to, what's his name? He's been on Joe Rogan, actually. He did go to South Africa, and he reckons that there's a whole heap of German colonies in Argentina. And they're all, like, obviously migrated.
Maybe that's where I got it from.
From Germany. Yeah. I wouldn't mind going to check it out if it's real, because I can't find the documentary that this guy did to watch it, and it's, you know, it'd just be interesting to sort of see if it's real.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, Caleb's doing some fact checking.
Well, I am, but and South America comes up. How South America became a Nazi haven. The perfect Jewish hideout. Jewish and Nazi havens in Latin America. The 7 most notorious Nazis who escaped to South America. Like, it's all pointing to South America, not South Africa. Anyway, let's not bicker amongst ourselves. Otherwise, we'll piss Couchy off and he'll go on a...
Maybe.
So we've got 2 people that aren't a kid killer and 1 person is, and 3 very boring weekends so far on the podcast.
Welcome to Senate, mate.
I don't think you were... Did you go into much detail about your weekend, Josh? It was pretty brief.
He went on a picnic.
Yeah, I went on a picnic, mate, and then to the range. I got fed up Sunday and, just decided to go to the range by myself because I knew that you were in Queensland and Caleb wouldn't have come and I don't have any other friends, so...
I thought you were waiting at the boat ramp for us, to be honest.
No, that ship sailed.
How'd you go with the range? Was anyone up there?
No, man, I had the range to myself. And it was quite windy and it was hot, like real hot.
So it was terrible.
So I actually thought about like fire danger. But I'd asked this question to our club president last year, whether like on like a high fire risk day, if the range closes, and it doesn't. But I was only shooting 22 and I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. Just on the 100-meter range. I wanted to see, because I got that tuner on the 22, the barrel tuner, and I was shooting Ealing match and it was grouping phenomenal. And then I went home and I watched this YouTube video about repeatability with barrel tuners. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna test it. Test what this guy's saying and see if it is repeatable, and went to the range, shot the Ealing match out of it, and it did well. Not great, not as well as it was. But then I shot the CCI standards out because I'm a cheap ass and didn't want to use all my Ealing match, and it was grouping phenomenal. And I was talking to Dad actually when I got home about this, because consistently at 100 metres it shoots better, regardless what ammo I'm using. And this is like with tuner or without tuner at 100 metres. With tuner, consistently at 100 metres, it's 1,000 times better.
Cool.
But yeah. I knew you weren't going to be interested in it, so I was like, okay.
I zoned out, man, to be honest.
What sort of tuner is it?
I zoned out because I'm like, why did I not bring more beers in here? That's what I was thinking.
I actually thought the same thing. I'm like, damn it, I don't have any alcohol.
Well, I'm glad we both went to the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, well, you guys take the podcast from you then.
Well, while we do that, can you get me some more beers?
No, but like, what sort of barrel tuner was it?
Just a Manil barrel tuner from old Nick. It's a good little system.
Sweet.
I do enjoy using it now, actually, with the tuner on. I enjoyed it before, but just another thing to sort of try and get your head around and work out.
Oh, look, it's a nice little bell end to add to the end of your 22 to make it look a little. It goes well, actually. It's got a bell end on it and a bloody dildo stock on it. So,
Well, it was working for me and Couchy the other week because like we were back at camp from our like stalks in the morning, and I got bored, so I ripped it out and we started shooting birds with it. And then it was like, oh, I'll shoot one and give the 22 to Couchy. He'll go and shoot one, and we just did that for a little while, probably about an hour or so. It's cool.
No birds were harmed in the process.
they're just Indian minor birds or, eagles. That's fine.
Jesus.
I'm kidding. We didn't shoot an
didn't
eagle.
shoot eagles, just pests that
But-
you're allowed to.
And then we got bored of shooting that, and then we shot some target. And then, what are the ferns that are there at the camp as well?
Broom.
I'm like, it just felt, the shooting the still targets just felt too easy. So we started chopping the stems of the fern. This is like 45, 50 meters. It's pretty fun, actually.
It was. I enjoyed it a lot. It's funny how little things like that, it's quite enjoyable with the 22.
True. Well, I was actually just going to say, Kat, you would know because you weren't there because you're in another state, but when I went to the range with Josh a couple of weekends ago, I actually changed out my 308 ammo because I was running out of the ADI 168 grains that I use normally.
Mm.
And I went in and I'm like, I want some more of these. And they're like, no, they're always out of stock of those. And I'm like, well, I want to get something else. I'll change to something else. What's in stock a lot? Hornady. Okay. The only thing with Hornady is they're expensive as shit. So I tried some ELDMs and some ELDXs. Went up. So I normally either shoot 165 or 168 grain. Tried the ELDMs, which are still 168, and the ticker didn't like them too much. They were everywhere. But apparently they come into their own further out than 100 meters, but they were not grouping at 100. And let's be honest, most things hunting-wise, we're shooting at between 100 and 300 meters, really. Anyway, then I put the ELDX Precision Hunters, which are 178 grain through it, group straight away, like all rounds touching. I was like, shit, this is good. And then, like, because we had someone else at the range with us, we just pushed back to 600 meters straight away, jumped on the Hornady app. All right, 600 meters, what's the deal? Dialed up for, 5.2?
Yeah.
Bang, straight on. Or thereabouts, apart from wind.
Nice.
So, yeah, I reckon that's what I'll be using just because they're always available, but they are expensive as hell. But for hunting, cool. I'm not going to sit there and put 100 down the range, but for hunting purposes, at least that'll keep me going for a bit.
I was impressed, actually. I wouldn't mind trying the ELDXs out in some hand loads, but I was impressed because you got second round hit, didn't you? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, with a 600 gong.
At 600, and we didn't have your speeds or anything. We were just running it through the Ford Off app, and it said 5.2. I think you tried 5.1 at the start.
Yeah, I did.
And then you came up a 10th.
5.2, yeah.
And yeah, like ring and steel. I'm like, that's actually pretty impressive because there was a bit of a breeze as well. So I'm like, oh, this is handled all right.
I was actually surprised. Like it sounds like bullshit, but they're actually like more comfortable to shoot, but they're like only 2,600 feet per second, I reckon.
Yeah,
So
that's slow.
They're pretty slow, but I was surprised. I'm thinking, I'm going up an extra 10 grain. This is going to kick it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's probably more comfortable to shoot. And it was just like, yeah.
They're probably using a slower burning powder maybe. This is probably something to like research. Slower burning powder so that recoil's just a little more gradual and not so sharp. Maybe.
I know, it just felt good. And I'm like, okay, cool, this works.
See, I still don't understand how you shoot with your ticker because I find that every time I've shot it, it talks. And I don't know if it's that bipod or what, but it just, like I shoot and just, it flicks. Like just pivots.
You probably don't load up on it as
All
much
right.
as I do.
Are you like hard on the load?
If I don't load up, then yeah, I get what you're saying. But because it's so light, man,
Yeah, true.
it was always going to be designed to carry around all day as a hunting rig. So
See, this is something that you should get used to doing as well, putting your feet on a 45. If you're loading up that much, you're going to have – I know your bipod's got some give in it, which is probably a good thing and helped you a lot, but you'll get a little bit of muzzle rise on that pivot point as it's recoiling rearward.
yeah,
So I reckon if you tried 45, you'd probably be better at longer distances group-wise. I mean, you're still hitting steel, like 12-inch gong at 6, which is great. But, I mean, if you were grouping out at 6, you'd probably want to give that a go and be a bit more accurate. Maybe be a bit more accurate on deer too.
settle down, champion.
Do you want more beer or not?
Yeah, please. Can you actually get me some more? Like, I completely forgot to get more. I brought one in with me,
Jesus.
and I'm through that in a good 20 minutes ago. So anyway, I've changed ammo, but
Oh,
it's,
so you got some in the fridge then?
yeah, I've got 6-pack in the fridge.
Yeah.
Did the old Han Super Dry, 8 for $20. Thanks, Josh, for the whole 6-pack.
Nice.
Anyway, anything else to report?
I got nothing.
Sounds like it. Boring. All right, I'm cracking another beer. Should we get into the topic then? Seeing as how
Yeah.
we're drying up
Yeah.
at rate of knots. As I crack a beer.
You'll just need to be better. I mean, Couchy's 6 months
Let's do it,
now
Tom.
in Queensland. Stu hasn't gone fishing.
Hasn't been 6.
Yeah, he's going to get his own back on us. And
I know
I'll
this
ask him.
delay is fucking killing me.
It is.
It's pretty bad. Can you sort the internet situation out?
Yeah.
He's going to get
Well,
his.
I'm not sure if we start this again and see if it fixes it.
No. That will not help. You come good every now and then it just goes to shit again. So we're too far in now, man. We're 40 minutes in.
Yeah, no, I mean like just to not start the whole fucking podcast again, but just to stop the recording and start it again. And I'll join back in.
I mean, if you want 2 video files, go for it. Let's do it. Yeah, we're committing? Or we just proceed?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
We can. Yeah. I mean, so I just feel like I just shut up and listen to you guys talk.
So hang on, what? Have we decided to actually can it and then restart or what?
You cut out.
Because you cut out while you were saying that.
Exactly. Let's do it.
This is a joke.
Let's do this
All
again.
right. We're pausing the recording and then we'll be back shortly.
Wouldn't have this drama as if someone didn't move state.
All right, we're back. That looks to have rectified things. And as we've pressed
What's that,
record on the audio again, you've gone grainy. So let's just plow on and see how we go. Apologies to anyone out there listening, but blame.
Is there a delay still?
Well, you talked over me again, so I don't know. Blame Couchy, everyone.
Exactly. You have to talk over yours to get a word in this podcast. I've learned that.
Okay. Anyway, we'll get into the topic, which is, Josh, it was your decision. It was your suggestion. So you can introduce the topic.
It is. It was. And it is.
It will be.
It will be. Edibles.
Edibles.
Edibles. Edibles.
All right.
I don't know what made me think about this, the topic for this week. And, well, I do actually, because,
You were doing edibles at the time?
no,
probably.
there was this, like, to get to me missus' parents' place, you got to go through a creek. And there's this plant that grows either side of the creek. And it's like a little flower. I can't remember what it's called for the life of me, but you put it in salads.
Watercress.
And it's lovely, man.
Watercress.
It's like honey, like a spicy honey flavour. Yeah,
Watercress.
Yeah, maybe.
I will
don't know.
Google it.
Yeah, Google it. Good idea.
Don't stop talking while I Google it. Keep talking.
Anyway, so that's what made me think about edibles. It wasn't anything. That is definitely not it. It is not watercress.
All right.
Caleb does not know everything. It's an orange flower. You would have seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Caleb, I remember you and me eating them as a child. Couchy, yeah, you 100% would have seen them, especially at Cherryville. Anyway, so I'm going through the creek and I'm like, oh, well, you know, what if we were out bush and we didn't have any meat or anything like that, and you had to, or anything that you packed in, you had to eat it. And we've covered this topic a million times about what you do and surviving and this and that. And I thought, all right, what about identification of plants to eat that are poisonous?
To be fair, without meat, I would have very little idea about what plants you could eat, man. Like I was thinking about it when I seriously considered applying for the show alone. I'm like, my knowledge on native flora and what you can actually eat or what's poisonous is like zilch.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
So in a survival scenario, like you see on Alone, like people are eating like seaweed and just like bizarre plants.
How much do you reckon that's a gamble though? They're like, oh, I've seen other people eat seaweed before and it may not be the same type, but I'm just going to eat it.
I did learn one tip about you rub it on your skin, and if you get a reaction, then it's probably not something you should eat.
Yeah, it's back of the hand and then lips, and then if no reaction, eat.
Yeah. That was one handy thing I learned. Anyway, let's educate.
Oh, well, I've got a game for us tonight.
A game?
Caleb, get your scoring book out.
Okay, without pre-warning, but all right. At least I provided the scorebook last week. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, I wrote an essay, so...
I'll try not to drop a beer everywhere this time.
Who writes these days? Just type,
Mate, I've even gone back to the pencil because I can erase it when I make a mistake.
Legit, he's got an HB pencil here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can just type it and you can just delete if you make a mistake.
Oh, no, because I'd do that, like, my Googling and that on the road or wherever I'm at. So if I've got my book, I'd just, yeah...
Listen to the rustle of the paper. All right, scorebook ready. Do we all need a column for scores or what?
Nah, just use two because I have the answers written down.
All right, well, I'm going to title the page Caleb versus Couchy.
Oh, let's go.
Hit us up.
All right, so what you've got to do is you've just simply got to say whether it's edible or it's poisonous. Well, they're all edible, sorry, whether it's safe to eat or poisonous.
Play along at home, ladies and gentlemen.
Righto?
Well, wait, edible is defined as safe to eat.
Well, no, you could, anything, well, okay, yes, yeah, you're right. Edible or poisonous, then. We'll just go with that.
All right.
Fucking hell, Josh.
Righto? All right, so the first one is a bush tomato.
Edible.
Nice and easy.
Edible.
Okay.
Hang on. Correct?
You're both correct.
1 point each.
But there's over 100. There's over 100 species of bush tomatoes in Australia that are native, and there are only 6 that are like edible. So yeah, I think your chances are pretty slim.
So would you say just on a broad spectrum like that you just gave us, they would be classed as poisons?
Look, it's not according to Google, mate.
If there's 6% that are edible, then you would just automatically class that as poisons.
Well, no, because the 6 are edible, not poisonous.
Yeah, no, but the 94 aren't.
It's just being able to identify the right 6 out of 100.
Not that I said no.
Look, you could really skew the correct answer whichever way you wanted on that one. You could go, well, some of them are edible, so the answer is edible.
There is a scientific name for it, but they're all in the same species of plant. So, yeah, I think your chances are slim, but, hey, they're out there.
All right, for the purpose of this competition, a point each.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an easy one.
Jeez, if that's easy, with all those caveats in there.
Okay, the next one's an oleander.
A what?
Oleander.
What's an oleander?
Do you mean oleander?
No. Poisonous.
Poisonous?
Can I confirm?
Because I have no idea.
Can I confirm? Oleander or Olander? Can you spell them?
Maybe I wrote it wrong.
Spell it. Use it in a sentence. I feel like this is a spelling bee.
Did you?
Yeah, it is oleander. I wrote it wrong. There you go. Oleander.
I'm going to go poisonous.
Poisonous.
Poisonous?
Don't just copy me.
I already said poisonous beforehand. I'm just sticking to my guns.
Yeah, I reckon oleander's poisonous. I vaguely remember it's like a plant, and if you get it on your skin, it's not good. I reckon, yeah, I reckon I've got oleander juice on me before. It wasn't great.
Well, you're both correct. It's poisonous.
Yes.
And it's actually a beautiful white and pink flower that induces nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and it can cause seizures and a coma.
Crikey.
So get that up, yeah.
Nice.
And what's an oleander?
Yeah,
Next.
sorry, I've got O and then, yeah, there's like a huge gap. I must have started writing.
This is why you should have just printed something.
That's
Anyway,
all right.
You
whatever,
rubbed it out, didn't you?
Whatever, 2 points each.
So how'd you react?
Like I think I was chopping the actual bush or tree or whatever it was, and I just got some on me, like I didn't have gloves on. But it was because it was the skin on my hands, which is like tougher than, I don't know, somewhere a bit more sensitive. Like, nah, not really. No rash or like anything. It's just like, oh, whatever.
Just itchy.
Just wash my hands, whatever.
So, yeah, just itchy or something.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. I didn't ingest it or get it in my eyes or anything.
Okay.
Just a bit on the skin.
See, this is kind of weird because I've never had a reaction to a plant. Not that I'm sitting there eating funky looking plants and berries and things like that, but I've never sort of touched a plant and, could become violently ill or broke out in a rash.
I'm just looking at oleander now, and 100% I have like trimmed oleander bushes and stuff and got it all over myself.
It's kind of a pretty flower, so you could
that-
see how someone would want to pick it.
Edible.
Yeah, but not, well, no, well, hang on. We're not talking about skin reactions. We're talking about edible or not. So poisonous, don't eat it.
Okay,
Moving on.
Let's move on.
the next one's got a bit of a story to it as well, actually. But an angel's trumpet.
What, the other one didn't have a story?
No.
It did have a story. He's called a dyslexic, wrote it down.
Yeah, so that's me writing. And probably me eraser.
Angels.
Angel's trumpet.
I'm going to say it's poisonous and it causes vomiting.
I'm picturing something brightly flowered and trumpet looking. Poisonous.
So it is. It is poisonous. You're both correct. And it's a billowing yellow flower. It's highly toxic. And the only reason why this one came to mind when I was Googling plants is because I used to have it on my farm. And Hayden one night was intensely drunk and he picked a whole bunch of these flowers. They were everywhere and he tried drying them out and then smoking them. And it clicked because I remember I hated this bush and I'd be forever cutting it down and pruning it and all the rest of it. There's one particular bush right outside the house. And when I saw the photo when I was scrolling through Google about this, I'm like, wait a second, that's not the same flower. And it was. It is. Same plant.
Sounds like something Hayden would do.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know how he's still alive,
He's cooked.
to be honest.
Don't know. I don't know.
He will listen. And Hayden, you're cooked.
Yeah.
All right, the next one, which I didn't even know we had in Australia, but river mint.
Edible.
It's in the name.
Don't copy me.
No, I'm not. I'm thinking river mint edible.
It is. Yes. It used to a smash on it, actually. So river mint can actually be used to treat colds and stomach ailments. And I had no idea that we had a wild mint in Australia, to be honest. Like, don't ask how to
It's pretty
identify it, but
It's pretty mint, eh?
it is.
I reckon I've come across it.
You for real?
Yeah.
Near the river.
Where's it native to?
I
Rivers.
don't actually know.
Man, we need
There's a few different
we need a fact
types.
checker.
But
Google river
Google
mint.
furiously.
Mentha australis. Wow. Wonder how they came up with that name. River mint. Where? Oh, I don't know.
It actually kind of resembles mint a lot.
Oh shit.
River mint native
Yeah.
areas.
No, like ordinary mint.
Yeah, like moist areas of southeastern Australia, including the Adelaide Hills. I've definitely been hacking around creeks and stuff. I reckon when I used to live in the hills and you smell mint and you're like, what the hell?
Huh.
Yep.
There you go.
There you go. I wasn't dreaming.
How many other questions are there?
There's heaps. Why?
Yeah, because we're both
What?
on 4 points.
You
What's
don't
this
want to
out
win.
of? What's this out of?
I don't know, like 12 or something.
Yeah.
You got a better idea?
No. Quicker.
Anyway, keep going.
All right. Aniseed myrtle.
Edible.
You are correct.
Yes.
It can be harvested all year round and dried and milled and then used to flavour cakes and bread. There it's
We're practically survivalists, Caleb.
I reckon, man. Maybe I should have just gone on alone.
Maybe. Could you identify any of these, though?
No, now you're asking. I mean, I'd be okay if there was a little tag on the bottom of every single plant that said aniseed myrtle or was it angel's
Then you're like,
trumpet?
that sounds edible. I'll eat it.
Angel's trumpet sounds edible. It does.
No way.
It does. It sounds edible. I'll be looking at for the
No.
aisle in Coles, that's for sure. All right, next one. Wattle seed acacia.
Edible.
Wattle seed acacia. I'm on the fence with this one because the wattle seed I know is an edible thing, but I'm not sure about the acacia part.
What's that go poisonous?
I'll go poisonous.
Oh, you are incorrect. It is edible.
Who?
Caleb.
Yeah.
It is edible. So it's a drought tolerant plant. Once again, it can be ground and added into bread or baked like cakes and things like that, and has a slightly hazelnut flavour. There you go.
Bugger. All right, you one up, mate.
All right, saltbush, because we all know what saltbush looks like.
We've all eaten a salty bush at one point in time.
There's an unguent for that.
An unguent. There's a word I know you've used on the podcast, and I had the same reaction then, and I've forgotten what it meant.
Oh,
What's an unguent? Is it like a cream?
It's an
like,
ointment,
it's a cream. Yeah. I'm having deja vu. We had this exact conversation a few seasons ago, I reckon.
Anyway, Couchy, you said edible. What'd you say?
Yes.
Oh, I'm still stuck on unguent. What was
said
the
edible.
question?
Saltbush.
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 I feel like it's edible, but you shouldn't. Like it's going to do something bad to you. So I'm going to
Isn't that what
like too much
Poisonous is?
saltbush. Too much saltbush is bad. I don't know.
anything? Too much of anything is bad for you.
Yeah, I mean you can kill yourself by having too much water. So,
Mm-hmm.
look, edible.
You are correct.
Did you put a vote in there?
I thought you were going to
Captain?
get poisonous then.
I
I said edible.
didn't actually know saltbush was edible, but it is, and yeah, it's commonly used to flavour lamb out of all things. But there you go.
As opposed
There you
to
go.
just salt.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, Gympie.
Yeah.
Gympie,
Yeah.
Ship Music Festival.
Poisonous.
Gympie,
Gympie.
I'm going to poisonous.
just for the sake of poisonous.
Yeah. Yep, you're both correct. It'll cause immediate and severe burning.
What is
Stop
it?
copying me, Caleb.
What is it? A bush or
That's a plant, man.
Yeah, I can't remember actually.
okay?
I can't remember what it looks like. We got the fact checker out.
Let's get it out. Is it spelt like the place?
Yeah.
Gympie plant.
Yeah, it's a
Ew,
bush.
it's a stinger. World's deadliest plant. Yeah.
I don't think it's the world's deadliest plant, but yeah. I don't know if it's actually a part of the Oh, what's it
I
called?
think it's pretty lethal, man.
Nightshade.
It goes Gimpy. Dendroc.
It's known as a suicide plant.
Dendrocnoid moroides. Yeah, commonly known in Australia as a suicide plant, stinging tree, stinging bush, or gimpy, is a plant in the nettle family found in rainforest of Malaysia and Australia.
There you go.
I don't trust this Wikipedia. Look how they spell Malaysia.
Yeah, I don't either. Can't anyone add anything to Wikipedia?
Yeah, which is why I'm not sure how good this is. But yeah, no, all the other sites, not a good thing.
There you go. So you're both correct. All right, next one. Black bean. Everyone loves a good old black bean.
Well, you're just trying to give us the answer now, like the old beef and black bean?
Just
Poisonous.
take
Edible.
it out. It is.
Edible.
Ooh, it is actually poisonous.
Jeez.
So it's native to Queensland.
Yes.
So Couchy should know. And it induces
too
vomiting and
up.
diarrhea.
So what's the black bean in beef and black bean?
That's edible.
Yeah.
Edible black bean.
Probably a different bean.
Oh, whatever.
All right, here's one that's easy for you. Deadly nightshade.
Why did you even
Poisonous.
include this in the quiz?
Yeah, because I just wanted to say
help
deadly
you out,
nightshade.
Poisonous. It's currently 10-8.
So I'll put this in here. Actually, it is poisonous. You're correct. That's because the berries can cause hysteria, hallucinations, erratic behaviour, and delirium, which I didn't know about deadly nightshade.
Sounds like alcohol.
It's actually it's killed 2 of my brother's dogs.
Nightshade.
Actually, deadly nightshade.
Crikey.
Did they have erratic
Fucking
behaviour
stupid,
before
and
they
ate the
died?
berries. Not sure.
You think a dog would
Why?
be able to smell that it's like bad? Like, yeah, no, not eating that. Sort of.
Yeah, well,
Eh.
it's a pick of the litter.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I feel like there's 2 left.
Can you see them? Can you?
No, I can't. But you said there was 12 and Kevin's
Yeah,
on 10
you
and he
forgot
hasn't
that.
got anything wrong.
Oh, Spurge. And I'll put this in there because I knew you'd like it.
Splurge, spooge. Spurge.
I'm going to give you a chance here, Caleb. Whatever you choose, I'm going to go opposite.
Spurge. Edible.
I'm poisonous.
It is poisonous.
Oh, God.
So the sap in these plants are called latex, and it's highly poisonous, causes inflammation of the eyes, nose, or mouth, and can cause blindness. So I wouldn't know how to describe the plant to you, but yeah, there you go.
All right. Do we end the quiz now? Because Caleb can't win.
No, there's one more.
I couldn't win
Uh,
2 questions ago.
I'm going to give
Yeah.
you one more, and it's the billy goat plum.
Poisonous.
poisonous.
It's actually edible.
No.
It's known as it's actually known as the Kakadu plum, and then AKA the billy goat plum.
Oh, well, if you'd said
But-
that's what I
Kakadu
got
plum.
wrong.
I figured, I figured
come
Kakadu plum was going to give it away a bit and be like, yeah, all right, we can eat it.
Yeah. You should have just put the Latin name of all these in.
Oh, mate.
You should have just put
Not a
picture,
chance.
picture and the Latin name, and that's it. And we just had to look at it and
Yeah,
guess.
would have helped me immensely.
Next time, we can share the screen. We can share the screen.
Actually, we
with
can.
you.
Yes.
Welcome to the 21st century. As Josh blows his nose in the microphone, let's next time play the visual only version of something like this.
How do you put that into a podcast, man?
Post the video of it.
Yeah. Jump on YouTube and watch it.
Describe it in detail. I don't
All right.
know. Anyway, thanks, Josh. That was a fun game for me to lose. 11-8. Well done.
So-
Maybe you shouldn't go on
Mike,
alone.
okay.
Sorry, man.
Mine? All right. So, edibles is a fucking weird one to come up with, in my opinion. So, how I did sort of break this one down. Edibles has 7 letters.
Okay.
So, looked into why the number 7 is a powerful number, supposedly, by Google. Josh, you'd love this one. Well, both of you probably would. So, how God created the earth in 6 days and rested on the 7th. And that created Sunday. So Sunday's the 7th day of the week. What better way to spend a Sunday than to be hunting? And then
Wow.
I just sort of looked up hunting stories.
This
That's
What?
a long way. But
I feel like you just went hunting stories. How can I reverse engineer this to get where I want?
yeah.
Which, to be honest, is how we've ended up with a lot of our topic breakdowns.
Exactly. So I've listened to some of your fucking breakdowns you've got to, Caleb. So I sort of searching on Google just some sort of crazy stories of what people have shared. So one thing I wanted to ask was you two, if you two had any sort of weird stories out hunting that's sort of abnormal that you're willing to share. I'll give you time to think about it while I'm reading this one. It also stems to the listeners as well. So if you've got something cool to share, send it through, and we might read some out.
Just abnormal hunting stories.
Yeah. So this one sounds a bit fucked up. So I'm not sure how believable it is, but it's cool. Sorry. So I was walking to my stand early one morning, an hour before sunup. I was hearing footsteps behind me. I thought I was just tripping because honestly, who hasn't thought they've heard noises, scary noises in the dark? But it was very quietly becoming apparent that there weren't any echoes or anything like that. I spun around and brought my gun up, but my headlight reflected off my scope and I got blinded. I found it weird that he was just pointing the gun straight away, but I'm guessing it's American. So I heard the footsteps move off the trail, but I couldn't see anything. As I started to move again, a light appeared in the woods to my right, paralleling me about 75 yards. It continued alongside me for 50 to 100 yards before I cut my headlight off, at which point it swept back and forth and then clicked off. At this point, I was crouching down with my gun up and I could hear two male voices whispering to each other, then nothing. I crept to my stand, felt safe with my back to the tree. And looking over the trail I came in, but I never saw any deer. When it was time for lunch, I climbed down, checked the rub line and met maybe 100 yards to my left for activity. When I was come back to the tree, there was a dead rabbit at the base of the tree with its head cut off. The rabbit was fresh. There was no blood or footprints anywhere. So that was a story that I come across that sounded pretty weird, and I probably butchered the story itself. But yeah, you guys got anything cool to share?
That is a bit weird.
Abnormal. I can't really think of anything too abnormal. Probably the weirdest scenario, I think, when you're by yourself is always when hunting gets a bit weird. Like, I don't know, somehow just having another person there, it's like chilled. But when you're by yourself, you're just there with a rifle and you're kind of anticipating the movement or like an animal to come across your path. So the senses are heightened, and it's weird. Like your mind can start playing tricks on you at times, especially if you're just sitting there for a long time. Because how many times have you been sitting there and then your mate like rocks up, and you're like, oh, there's some movement. It's Josh. Or you observe someone else coming towards you and they don't know you're there. That's a weird thing to do. But I can't really think of anything too abnormal that's happened, like other than running into poachers before. That was weird. And there's that awkward, well, I can be here. Why are you here? And then just the bullshit that they come up with. But it's weird, like especially like there's that spot we go over in Victoria, and there's state forest right next to the private property. And if you go into the state forest, you can find tree stands set up, and blokes go in there and they just poach hoggies.
Yeah,
which is an interesting scenario.
Look, I think I get what you're trying to say. Or ask the question, like spooky sort of stuff that's sort of abnormal. I mean, all what you're saying, Caleb.
Like that's as abnormal as it gets. Like I'm not running into aliens or like anything. Like
no, but it's all explainable. So when I was a kid, my parents had a small property in the hills, and I took a mate of ours actually, Christina, who's been on the podcast before. he used to come around with another mate, Peter, and we'd go out hunting. You know, spend the night out in the middle of the creek or whatever and camp, and then get up the next morning and hunt for foxes. And the very first time, we were young. I just want to point this out. We were real young, probably about 14, 15 maybe. The very first time we'd camped out, so we packed up all our gear, took it down the bottom of the hill, and it was quite a steep hill. And there's like a road that ran sort of like a third of the way from the top. And we just sort of camped there for the night, set up our hoochies and like built a fire, and we were sort of, yeah, cool, this is awesome, just getting amongst it. Then bedtime had like come around, so we're like, yeah, let's hit the hay. And as we were all getting into bed, suddenly this atrocious scream just comes out of the middle of nowhere. Like just this horrendous, like, have you seen those goat videos where people pull the piss and it's like, ah, like the goat screaming? Like that's exactly what it was like.
Was it a goat?
No, it wasn't a goat.
Yeah.
And of course, none of us knew what it could be or what it was. We're all too young and inexperienced. So we're all sort of like freaking out at this noise, and we're like, oh, what could that be? What could that be? And it went quiet again, and we're like, all right, cool. And I've decided to get up and pull a prank on
I know what
Chris
it is.
and scare him. And so everyone's sort of like half asleep, you know, half an hour later, whatever, sort of got up, went around the campfire to where Chris was sleeping and scared the living daylights out of him. And he thought, I swear, he almost shit his pants, man. And after that, he was like, that's it, I'm going to sleep with the gun near me, because we only took one rifle, I'm pretty sure. So he's grabbed the 30-30 and just like hugged it and went to bed. Anyway, a few hours later has passed, and this scream happens again. And we all jump out of bed like freaking out. Like, what is it? What is it? What is it? So we've got the torch, and we've decided to have a look at like around camp to see if we could find anything. Once we had built up the courage to do this, mind you. Looking around, and out of everything, guess what it was? A donkey.
Possum.
A donkey?
A donkey.
Donkey.
So, no idea why
The fuck?
and how, but the neighbours had a donkey. And we were watching the donkey through the light, like make this weird screaming sound. It was the oddest thing in the world, man.
Yeah, wow.
But up until that point, yeah, it seemed pretty spooky.
Actually, that sparked not an abnormal hunting story, but an abnormal fishing story. Josh, you were there for this one. So I can't remember how old we were. We were young, and we were fishing off the jetty. It was night. I can't remember which jetty. That's irrelevant. But I can't remember if it was your old man or my old man that had taken us to the jetty to fish this night. Anyway, we had a torch, and we were shining it in the water as we were fishing. Next thing you know, we hear, oi, shine the light over here. So we shone the spotlight over to where the voice was, and there was these chicks in the water. They'd gone for a swim, and they've just gone, woo, up with the tops. And I'm like, oh my gosh, boobies. And I don't think we were any more than like 12 maybe. So for us, that was just like the pinnacle of.
Caleb had wet dreams that night.
But that was a bit of an abnormal experience. It's not every night you get flashed as you're fishing. So there you go.
No.
Those are the things you live for as a teenage boy, though. Like
Nice.
Being flashed.
being flashed.
Really?
Especially
Just those
when-
random encounters, yeah.
I don't know. You were.
That was the only time that ever happened.
I remember
when I was
you-
a kid.
Yeah, I remember.
Like the only time. Never had anything cool like that happen.
There was a time you and I reckon we were like 14, 15, and this girl just came up to me and asked for my number, and you were like, bro, what the hell? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, we were at a youth thing and they had like an all-nighter, like a big night out or something like that. And I still remember it was at, like, there's different places. There's like a bowling alley, basketball court. There was a video game arcade.
Time zone or whatever it was at the time.
The ice arena, and you sort of got like trucked around. And it was at the video arcade outside the out of that place.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, none of that ever happens to me. Like, stuff you. And you just casually paid it off. I'm like, no, that cool.
I didn't give
You're
you a
not
number
cool.
either.
You're barred up more than anything.
I was like, no, I'm not interested. Anyway.
She didn't fit your demographic, that's for sure.
She was more your type, Josh, and that's why you were cut up.
All right, has anything crazy happened to you? Surely living in Horsham, or like something crazy's happened.
Fucking, I've got no stories like that, to be honest, man. I was thinking about it before the podcast actually, and either I can't remember or I can't think of anything. So,
or people just don't do that in
no.
smaller country towns where
That's
everyone
why I
knows each
thought
other.
I'd find a story that sort of resembled. Yeah, pretty much. So I thought it'd be a good question for the listeners to see what they'd come across.
Send us your weird stories.
So I've heard of a guy in the States that was out duck hunting, or he was out hunting something, and he was hunting with a muzzle loader, and he decided to have a crack at a duck that was sitting on top of a log, and below the log there was a bunch of sort of ducks milling about, chilling or whatever, and he shot. Now, the first part of the story is he missed the duck that was on the log, but the log's broken off, fallen down onto the other ducks underneath it, and then he's left the ramming rod, in the muzzle loader, and that's shot off into the distance and killed a deer. Now, this is, I guarantee you this is untrue, but that story was circulating when I was a kid. I don't know if anyone else has heard about it or anything like that, but that's pretty crazy. I'd love to hear some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
Weird. Also,
Yeah.
I'm using that euphemism from now on.
Caleb.
My ramrod in the muzzle loader. Oh, there's Couchy's 5-second delayed laugh. Very good. All right, well, for my breakdown of this topic, I was just like edible, weird stuff. So I just went weird and I just went blatant. Google, found a list. If you want to read the list for yourself, roughguides.com. Weird food from around the world. And this is mostly like meats and stuff, like animal products. But the first one is shirako, which is from Japan, which literally translates to white children. And this, do you know what it is? I'll ask you what it is first. Do you know what it is? Josh, don't look at the freaking screen.
Oh, say it again.
Shirako, which means white children.
Still looking at the screen.
He's still looking at the screen. Look straight ahead, bro.
I'm reading the title, but
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. But.
So this is a delicacy that refers to the sperm sacs of either cod, anglerfish, or pufferfish. So it looks like white blobs of glue or goo or miniature brains. It supposedly has a sweet custardy taste.
Of course you went there, eh?
Well, there's a
You're
picture,
such
Josh.
a
You can see
weirdo.
it. You can see it. Look it up for yourself, everyone. Yeah. Shirako. It looks absolutely disgusting. It looks like little white brains, but yeah, it's sperm sacs. Still in Japan, tuna eyeballs. Tuna are a pretty expensive sort of a fish, and it's literally a waste not when it comes to tuna. So they, literally pluck the eyes out and serve them up. Various recipes, but look at the size of them. Like tuna eyeballs are huge.
You know, eyeballs aren't that weird.
Yeah.
There's a young fella on YouTube, Nick Fry. He does a whole solo sort of missions, survival missions, and then goes out fishing and all the rest of it. And he's got a bit of a tradition where he scoops the eye of the fish that he catches and eats them. I don't think I could do it. Have you ever dissected an eye?
I've cut one in half, yeah.
Like, they just seem like the most
No.
chewy, pussy thing ever.
It's not an appealing thing to want to eat.
Nah.
Yeah, especially looking at this picture, like it does not
Then
look
again, cooked right, it may be great.
maybe, but it just doesn't look good. I mean, I'm not one to speak because I don't like fish at the best times, but
Well, here are you. What about which
Here
would
I
you choose? Fish sperm or an eyeball?
oh look, if I'm stacking up the two, I'll go with the eyeball rather than the sperm sack. Ugh, they both look terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, not as bad as the third one, which is, and apologies for the Australian pronunciation of these, but balut or balut from the Philippines, which is very popular. This is a fertilized duck egg and is boiled alive
Oh,
and then eaten from the shell with salt, chili, and vinegar.
Oh, yeah.
So you're basically eating a duck embryo.
fetus, yeah.
It looks like a testicle without the sac around it.
You know, it would probably be actually nice when you think about
Well, then
it.
again, we eat the chicken egg. We eat the chicken. Why not in between?
Yeah, you're right, but you're eating it whole.
Like the same thing.
Pre-feathers,
Is it though?
yeah.
Looking at that photo. So this is how
Yeah,
you're supposed to eat it,
pre-feathers.
right? So you tap a hole on the top of the shell, you drink the savoury liquid out of it, and then crunch down on what's inside.
Ugh.
Feathers, bones, and all. So because it's underdeveloped, it's probably going to be
Yeah,
a
'cause
bit
it'll be all
softer.
soft.
But
Probably tastes phenomenal.
it's a delicacy.
Try it, Josh.
All right, here's one for you.
It's a delicacy.
Prairie oysters or chicken fetus, duck fetus.
Give me oysters over duck fetus every day of the week.
You'd have buck nuts.
Hang on, what oysters did you say?
Prairie.
Oh, prairie oysters. I just heard you say oysters. I didn't hear prairie.
Prairie oysters.
Nah. Oh.
I'll probably have. I don't know. I've heard more stories that they actually taste good, so I'll probably have the prairie oysters.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that too.
Yeah.
Look, honestly, this duck egg business is not looking good. Anyway, next one, fried tarantulas in Cambodia. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically fried tarantulas.
Hayden's eaten that fried tarantula. He reckons it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you can get past the fact that it's a spider. Like, it probably is tasty, but look at the size of it, man. That's a lot to get through.
Mm.
Anyway, next one is white ant eggs soup, which is obviously a soup, and it's a mixture of ant eggs and partial embryos from the white ant. Oh, man. I've got Josh's disease. A mixture of ant eggs and partial embryos from the white ant plus a few baby ants to add some sourness.
Oh, just chuck a few in just to mix it up a bit.
Yeah,
So, all right, that or roe.
look, honestly, I'd probably go with the white ant egg soup.
Same.
Looks
know if I
all
could
right.
do
Like,
roe.
it looks like one of those things where, like, looking at this soup, there's more other things in there than the white eggs. It's like the
just diluted a
like
bit.
the old nursery rhyme of the rock soup. You know, that fable or whatever it is.
What?
Oh, I can't remember the story exactly, but it's basically like the character in the story gets out of prison by convincing whoever was imprisoning them that they could make the most delicious soup from a rock. And they literally like grab some rocks, chuck it in the pot, put some water in, and then the captor's like, there's no way you can make delicious rock soup. And they're like, no, you can make rock soup. And then they just put like all these different vegetables and flavorings in there, and then they try the soup and like, oh, that's delicious, you can go. Because you just add all this other shit in there.
I've never heard that nursery rhyme, bro.
Look at
It
it.
makes sense, though.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Like it was a trick to be able to I don't know. I think it was to get out of prison or be let go or something. I don't know. Anyway, next one. Jellied moose nose from Canada.
I would have that.
It's for real.
Jellied moose nose.
Yeah. Legit. You've had it.
I
No,
said
I would have.
Oh, you
this.
would have it. Okay.
Jesus. Settle down.
I thought you said you had. Yeah. Anyway, so basically you grab a moose nose, you boil it up with onions and spices, you get rid of the hair, boil it again, and then, you slice it, cover it with a broth that sets into a jelly, and it looks as bad as it sounds. There is a picture. So, when you cook something and then you just leave it there in the fat, like especially chicken, like that jellied fat and stuff, that's what this looks like, and I don't know about it.
That jelly from the chicken is lovely.
No.
Yeah. You're not picking that off. When your wing's dipped into that jelly, you're not scraping that jelly off. You're just eating the wing, and you can't – it tastes like barbecue chicken.
I know we grew up poor, but you cannot sit there and you're eating the jellied fat from a roast chicken.
Yeah, with a bit of meat, you're good.
Oh.
I would never eat it alone,
like
by itself, but I would have it with the chicken itself. But I wouldn't take the chunk with the chicken. If it's on the chicken itself, then I wouldn't mind. But it's also good to have it when you heat it up because it'll just melt down.
Correct. Anyway, if you look at this picture, it just looks like a hunk of chum, like dog food. It does not look appealing.
It looks okay. It doesn't look that bad.
Next one is boshintang from Korea. This is a health-giving soup which is made from spring onions, dandelions, a host of spices, and one infamous ingredient, dog meat. I thought dog meat was more of a Vietnamese thing. I wasn't really going to say that in a ridiculous accent.
Vietnamese.
That one. But yeah. There you go. The old dog soup. Boshintang.
I've eaten dog.
Meat,
Dog's not bad.
That meat looks all right. You've eaten dog.
Yeah, like unless you're told what it is, you can't really taste the difference between.
Don't say chicken.
Nah, it's sort of like the texture of lamb.
I mean, looking at this photo, it kind of looks like. Well, certainly the way they prepared it, it looks like a pulled pork / like a
it's not
brisket type looking arrangement.
It's not overpowering at all, like you would think it would be. It's not. The flavour, I couldn't really pick it down to anything other than boiled.
Well, just
boiled
depends
meat.
if it's grass fed or grain fed, man.
Fed on chum or fed on biscuits.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, a bit of dog. Next one, who knows how the hell you pronounce this, but it's Couchy. I don't know. Either way, it's from Mexico. It's corn smut. Is a fungus that turns normal corn kernels into tumor-like growths covered in blue-black spores. It may look and certainly sound like a disgusting food, something like a diseased corn cob that needs to be thrown out, but many find it to be a delectable delight. In Mexico, it is regarded as a culinary specialty. They call it huitlacoche, which means sleeping excrement. It looks like
you had me at corn smart.
It just looks like black moldy corn. Like they've put it in a quesadilla in the picture, but I've saw some other pictures when I was looking and it's just like black corn. It looks foul. Next one, airag from Mongolia, which is a glass of fermented horse milk. Like I know like a lot of the fermented milks are big in like Africa, like they just get goat's milk and ferment it and whatever, but I don't know if I want to have fermented milk.
Have you had a Yakult?
It doesn't sound good.
Look at those little Yakult. That's fermented milk, man. Cow's milk.
But how sanitized is that for a Western taste?
Okay, so just to remove the stainless steel vats and pour it into an old basket and ferment it.
Also, goat's milk can go fuck itself. Like, goat's milk is disgusting.
Yeah, not a fan.
I've never tried it.
Sheep and goat milk, I reckon, tastes like a goat. Like, it somehow just tastes dirty. Like, I don't know. It's like you're licking a fucking goat. No, thank you.
What about goat's cheese? You like the bit of tang?
Same deal. Don't rate it.
Don't rate it?
Don't rate it.
Not even a nice green crapper.
I'll get around
Crapper.
like the crapper. Goat cheese on a crapper. Too much goat cheese, you'll end up on the crapper. Next one, Casumazu from Italy. Rotten cheese is made from pecorino that's gone bad, really bad. So basically the larvae of cheese flies are added to the cheese, the pecorino. They hatch inside, burrow around, and digest the fats. And this results in a weeping, tongue-burning delicacy that you can eat with or without the maggots. I mean, we're so used to as soon as someone's got maggots in it, just turf it.
That sounds better than cheese that Mickey Mouse has put the holes in with his doodle. Have you seen that meme?
What?
You haven't seen that meme?
No.
Oh, there's a short of like one of Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse videos, and it's like
Okay,
this
I've seen this
factory,
one.
and the cheese goes along, and you know how cheese has holes in it. I don't know what cheese, but yeah, you see him putting this.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've only got a few more. Muktuk from Greenland. Or Greenland. It's a traditional Inuit meal of frozen whale skin and blubber. And it's either served raw or pickled. It looks a bit like licorice all sorts and has several layers. So obviously like fat, skin, all the rest of it. Does not look good. Like looking at the picture there, it kind of looks like if you don't imagine that it's fat, it kind of looks like a dessert, like a vanilla slice, but pink.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's literally just like a rectangular chunk of whale
Slab
fat
of
and
fat.
blubber.
I reckon it'd taste amazing.
I would guess that it's probably more of just an easy
It's calories.
calorie intake. Like given it's like an Inuit thing, so they'll just be going, winter is getting more severe.
Winter's just there, isn't it?
Well, it is, but they would need to. They'd have like peak winter. They'd have to like fatten up.
Yeah.
And what perfect way than just eat straight out whale fat?
Is winter coming soon? Is
No, summer's coming, bro. Winter has been. I didn't use up all my blubber over winter, all right? It's time to shed that. Next one's Hakal from Iceland. It's to prepare, you first gut and behead a Greenland shark, place in a shallow grave and cover with sand and stones, leave for 2 or 3 months,
Ooh.
then cut into strips and dry for several months before serving.
It's like a 12-month cook.
First-time tasters are advised to hold their nose and try not to gag. So obviously it smells like shit.
How do they come
How's
up
that
with
feeling?
that? Did someone just walk along the beach one day and trip over a shark's grave and then be like, oh, may as well eat it, I'm hungry?
Here's a photo of it all just hanging up in a shed. It just is just hunks of rotten shark. Like the things we don't eat these days, no wonder people get sick all the time. Like imagine eating rotten, like just ingesting enough rotten or nearly rotten stuff. You'd build up a fair tolerance, I reckon. Whereas if we eat something bad now, you're stuffed.
Oh, you've tried my mum's cooking, bro.
Well, maybe that's why I have an iron gut. It's just lined with carbon from all the burnt food. All right. How many have we got? I didn't think I had this many. Couple more. Century egg from China. I think most people have heard of a century egg in China, Couchy, which is, again, rotten egg, but this time it's much, much older. The eggs, also known as 100-year eggs or pidan, are covered in clay, ash, and salt for months, by which time the yolk is dark green and stinks of sulfur. We've all come across a rotten egg that's just been like fallen out of a nest and left in the sun. People are eating that. And there's a photo. It's black, completely black all the way through.
Once again, I wonder how they got to eating that, like how tough times would have been that someone's left an
They
egg
would have
in
been
the pantry.
preserving. They would have been preserving eggs back in the day, and then they didn't realize it was bad, and they were still ate it, and other cultures didn't eat it, and they're like, "What the fuck are you eating that for?" Became the century egg.
Yeah, I'd just go to Machook and get a fresh egg.
Yeah. All right. Last one, Stargazy pie from England. a pie with fish that stare at the sky. So it originates from the Cornish village. Oh, wow. Why can I not use the English language tonight? Originates from the Cornish village of Mousehole in England. Is served on Tom Borcock's Eve, which is the 23rd of December. Never heard of that. According to legend, the heroic 16th century sailor rode out one December evening in high storms and returned with a catch big enough to feed the starving residents. It's important to leave the heads on the fish, which poke out of the pie and ultimately give the pie its name. So literally it's a pie with the heads of fish sticking out the top.
That sounds like just a tuna bake.
It's probably the least weird of all those.
Yeah, I'd get in that.
But from a visual...
This is visually not great.
Visually not great. It probably tastes good.
No, you go to Vietnam, you're going to be eating soup with fish heads in it all day long, mate.
Are they poking out like these are? This looks like the fish are jumping out of the pie.
It looks quite appealing, actually. It doesn't look that bad.
Doesn't. Just looks like a fish pie. Anyway, that's done.
So out of that, we've learnt something.
What?
You'd eat bucks nuts and fertile duck's eggs. That's what I've learnt.
I strongly oppose the duck embryo.
You know what? We should start doing some crazy cook-ups when we go hunting.
Well, we never do, though. You keep saying to everyone that comes out with us, you got to eat the heart or you got to eat the fat behind the eyeball.
It hasn't happened yet, has it?
No, I've tried the fat. I haven't eaten the heart raw or anything like that. No way.
Broken a few.
I have. I have.
He's going to get deep and philosophical now.
Yeah.
No, but we should try some crazy cook-ups. I was watching a dude the other day and he's cleaning out, I think, an elk stomach or something like that. And like he's cleaning it out and he goes, my father or grandfather didn't like it super cleaned. He liked some of the green sort of vile from the stomach content on it. And he goes, then he'd cook it up and slice it in other dishes or whatever. I'm like, that's disgusting, man. Like, but we should try it. We should.
You're talking like, when you like gutting the deer and it's got like the chewed up grass and crap in its intestines and a bit of that spills out.
Yeah.
You'll happily keep that on.
No, so he's removed the stomach lining.
Yeah.
Right, and he's washing it out, but he's not washing it thoroughly to get rid of that
Exactly, that's what he's saying.
green crap, yeah.
Oh.
He's like, you leave a little bit on for flavour. That's how his grandpa used to
It's
like
grass pulp.
Just like a pesto.
it.
Oh.
Bit of basil.
Nah, that stuff smells like crap because this is like grass and stomach juices and it's on its way to being deer shit. It's like halfway there.
Yeah, but I'm saying we should try some crazy.
All right, well, next time we gut anything, you can have its half-digested stomach contents and let us know what it tastes like.
No, plural.
No, you
not
sign up for
singular.
that one.
We.
Let's cook up some testicles.
Yeah, I'm keen to try butt nuts.
Especially after that video you sent me the other day of old mate, what's his face? The disgraced bodybuilder, beast, whatever. What the hell's the dude's name?
I've seen you a lot of videos.
The dude recently, Liver King, the dude who was said he wasn't on steroids but was on steroids. Josh sends me this video of the other day of him like eating breakfast and he sits down with this bowl of bull testicles and milk and that's his cereal. And he's just sitting there. It's foul. He's sitting there pulling bull testicles out of this milk and chomping on it and talking. And it's just all shock value. Like, who's seriously sitting there eating like that?
Look,
he's a bit of a con artist.
We need a series of like a set of or a few different species of testicles. So like roux would be a good one and quite abundant to try. And we've almost been there a couple times, like cooking them and trying them. But, in the end of the day, it ends up getting thrown at someone and everyone has a laugh. And then obviously deer, try deer, and then just sort of move down the line and see what's what.
Couchy nearly tried
Rabbit.
mine accidentally once.
It's only because you were trying mine.
Was it salty?
I mean, I feel like
Would have been.
that was like day 3
5,
or
6.
4 of a hunt. We're all sleeping together under the same hoochie. Somehow we ended up 69.
They got to wash in the Darling. It's the only way to wash them.
Yeah.
Mm.
Whilst that algae plague was happening.
Yeah, that's when all the fish had died. Not from
And we're
us.
cutting laps.
Not from us washing in there.
No.
See, there's another one we could try. Goat's nuts.
You just
Well, if
want
you're
to
going to try line them up.
You just want to line up a selection of testes.
Yeah, an erection selection of nuts. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I feel like if you try one thing once, and the way it's cooked might not help, or the way it's prepped might not help and might not make it taste nice. So if we have like a few and we try a few different ways, then you can make a bit of an educated sort of opinion about it.
And generally, the first time trying it, you're probably stuck in the mindset of it. Rather than trying it a second time, you're probably more open to it.
Yeah, because no one wants another male's nuts in their mouth. So you're going to be like, no, this is ooey.
Well, some might.
Some people. Let's not be. Some people might like that.
What was the word, Caleb, you looking for?
I was going to say uninclusive, and I realized I said that last week, and it's not a word.
Not inclusive?
Not inclusive.
Not inclusive.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, sweet.
Let's try some weird stuff.
We've committed to this now. So you do realize we have to prepare a selection of testicles, lay them out, and do a video of this.
That's fine. We've got to shoot a buck first.
I feel like that's viral video worthy. Hey, the crazy Centimate boys eating nuts.
Not sure that it's what you want to be remembered for, but yeah, we'll give it a crack.
Not really. I don't want to see the memes on that one.
Nah. So it's weird. Like little things with food sort of intrigues me but disgusts me. Like roe. Like, I can't do fish eggs from what I've tried so far. But there's guys that like get salmon, squirt it like eggs straight in their mouth from like a salmon they've just caught. Does that taste any different, or is that going to be worse? Or, I feel like if you're not inclined to eating fish, it's not going to taste very good to you anyway.
Fair enough. Do you know what I thought I was eating? Like, I went to this restaurant recently and I thought I was eating roe, and I was like, this is freaking delicious, and it tastes a bit limey. And Dad, who used to be a chef, was just like, Caleb, that's finger lime. I'm like, what? What's finger lime? Because it looks like fish eggs.
It does.
But it's like just a delicious lime that you can put on dishes. But it was in a fish dish when I ate it, so that's what made me think it was fish eggs.
That's fair.
So I don't feel that was too far-fetched. But yeah, finger limes. Have a look at what they look like when she actually squeezes the insides out. Looks like fish eggs. Tastes like delicious limes. Anyway, I think we're done.
I think we're done. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's leave it there then. Simple. Thanks for joining us, Couchy, from your blue room.
Anytime. I think we'll be here for a while, so you'll be able to see the blue door again.
When are you back here?
Whenever I feel like it.
Oh, it's like that now.
Nah,
is it?
probably.
Crikey.
Probably back in a fortnight.
Probably back in a fortnight, because we kind of need to know, because we're postponing last weekend's fishing trip. So,
And I told you, let's organise a date, and then it was like crickets.
There's some commitments stacking up for you, man. There's an exciting collab coming up as well that you are involved in.
And I said I'll be there.
You said you'd be here. Make sure you are.
collab.
Collab with another podcast coming up soon.
Josh, just let it go. You're fine.
Just let it roll, Josh.
You know what it is, but just let it go.
There will be selection of testes to eat on the night.
Change some fucking angel trumpets and you've forgotten about it.
I remember now.
He's on the same page.
Yeah.
There we go.
We're borrowing blockbusters from the same weekly.
No.
Weekly. Whatever it is.
Borrowing weeklies
Anyway.
from the same blockbuster.
That's the one. I like my way better.
But yeah, but let's organise this date for this trip for fishing and let's do it.
Cool.
Well, if you're back in a fortnight, this is doing in a fortnight.
Sold.
Can you do it in a fortnight?
I don't know.
We can do a recce trip
Well,
to the Coorong.
we were talking about hitting,
The Coorong. Yeah.
yeah, the mouth of the Murray up. Just a word of warning with that is we've got the neck. They reckon the Murray on our end's going to flood again. They've got the next lot of water coming through. They don't know how long before it gets here, but SA Power has started to disconnect people's power along the Murray again in preparation for the flood.
Yeah.
So obviously they'll close the Murray off then. So I don't know if we're going to do the Coorong, we need to do it sooner than later.
Cool. Well, the pressure's on Couchy. Let's keep the administration outside of the podcast and wrap this thing up because everyone's like, what the fuck are these boys talking about now? Are we coming on this trip? No. Can you boys
Come, because you guys will actually show up where these two won't. So let's do it. Invite everyone.
Anyway,
All right. Send us your weird food or suggestions for us to eat that's weird. Non-sexually related. Anyway, that's it. We're done. Podcast is ending. Thanks for listening yet again. Thanks to High Caliber and Firearm United. Someone else can wrap up. I can't speak.
Owners United.
Thanks, Couchy. I'm drained mentally tonight. I can't speak. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Catch ya.
Yeah.
See you later, dudes.
Oh, I'm going to pee.
G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses High Caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.